Started. Hello everyone. So in my current tutorial, we are going to talk about FastAPI. So in my this tutorial, we are going to see like how we can create a very simple or very first application program interface, or you can say API using FastAPI. So we'll give a brief introduction about FastAPI. Okay, and then we are going to start and creating a API using FastAPI. So before that, we will learn how to install FastAPI. So of course you need Python installed on your system. So once Python is installed, you need to install FastAPI, and then also you need UVCon module to run this endpoint on Windows system. Okay, and if you are running in Bash or Linux, you have a different method. But if you need to run it in Windows, you need UVCon installed. So we are going to install UVCon as well. Then we are going to create and write a simple app using FastAPI. We are going to see different methods, but at this point we are going to only use the get method on the app, and then we will create the endpoint. We'll run the endpoint using the UVCon. Okay, and then we are going to test our first API. Okay, so if you don't have any much knowledge on FastAPI or how to create an API, you are at the right place, and you should start learning from the beginning. Okay, so it will be very simple, and we are going to learn even if we don't have any knowledge on how to create an API or what is an API. Okay. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. This is Technical Lab. So I share tutorials on Python, Linux, Unibasic, AWS, and Python. Okay, so let's get started, and let me give you a brief introduction about FastAPI. So FastAPI is what it is, the latest module, or you can say framework by Python, which is used to build API based on your standard Python type hints. So you need to have Python 3.8 or even later than that. So it is very fast and very high performance on par with Node.js, fast to code, and very fewer bugs. So you can see we have this documentation that you can go through, and very easy to code. Okay, so and that's why I chose this FastAPI as a beginner. If you are a beginner, you can use this. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of I found it very useful, because even Netflix is also using FastAPI for their video streaming and all that. Okay, so you can see here people are very excited about using FastAPI. So if you really want to create API and you want to start, this is the right framework to use. Okay, so let's get started. So you need to have this what do you call Python installed, and after Python is installed, what you need is you need to install FastAPI. So FastAPI, you need to do pip installed FastAPI. So if you have already installed it, it's fine. If it is not installed on your system, you can run this command pip install FastAPI. So once you do that, it will install. So you can see it is already my requirements are already satisfied. So this I don't need to do it. So again, if I have to install UVCon is required, as I said, to run our endpoint. So I need to install UVCon as well. So pip install UVCon. I don't need to do this, but you have to do it if it is not installed. Okay. So once FastAPI is installed, you can always refer the documentation. So for the documentation purpose, I have opened this FastAPI documentation that you can refer from here, and you can get to know like what is FastAPI and how you can start working on this. Okay, so let's get started, and we'll create our first API, you can say code to create an API. Okay, so we just create a new file. So we'll have to create a new okay, so from once your FastAPI is installed, so you will have to import from FastAPI import FastAPI. So inside FastAPI module, you need to import the FastAPI class. Okay, so we don't need the entire FastAPI package. We just need the FastAPI class. So now once we have imported it, just create an instance of it. Okay, so you just need to create an instance, so you can do it using this FastAPI, and we assign it to app. Okay, then so see, there are a lot of things that you can do, and you can create a web-based application. You can create a website also using FastAPI. You can send or post or put or get data to the web app, or you can create several applications using FastAPI. But this one will be the basic one, and you have to just get started, and you have to learn like from the beginning. So I'm not going to write a lot of codes, and also I'll just start from the beginning. So let's just write one function. So let's say def uh, let's say what do you call hello, or anything like hello function. Okay, and inside this I'm going to write, let's say I'm just going to return what do you call uh, this is your first API. Okay, so now this is my function. So now here only we need to have this decorator. Okay, so now you see the Python has a decorator, right? So we use this @app dot get. So now we are going to put the get method here, and we are going to set it to let's say, you can say to root, or you can also set it to, let's say, greet or something like that. Okay, so once you do that, so basically you are setting an endpoint at the root, which will be slash and then greet. So whenever a client tries to go here, they will be getting this message. Okay, so that's what we are doing here. So we are creating an endpoint to receive the response, to receive request and display a response. Okay, so let me try and save this. So let me just save it to let's say my first API, and you can set it to py to make it look like a Python file. Okay, so yeah, so I'll just save this. So once you save this, so let me just try and run this much, because we don't want to complicate it, we don't want to confuse you. Okay, so we go here, and when we try to run it, so as I said, to run you need to have this uvcon installed. Okay, so you need to now how do we run it? So we run it using the Python -m module and then uvcon. Okay, so once you do that, and then you have to give the program name. So now this is your program. So with my first API, so my first API, and then you can give :app. This is how you run it. So once you do this, see, the server has started, and you can see the server startup is complete, and you can see this endpoint is running on http://127. This is your local host system. You can always host it to a global IP address also, but then you can, now this is running on your local system. So this is your local host IP address, and then it is running on the port 8000, and this shows that your server is running. So let's now to access this, what you can do is you can always go here and type http://127.0.0.1, and then it is running on the port 8000, and then what is the endpoint, like where is it is running? So let's say greet, right? So if I just say greet, see, voila, you have created your first application. So this is it was running on this location, and when it got the message, it sent a response. So this is your first API. That's what we have returned from here. Okay, you can always select pretty print, so this will be printed like this one. Okay, so this is what we wanted to display here. So even you can also pass parameters. You can do a lot of things, like for example, you want to let's say let me try and define one more function here. So let's say what do you call greet a name. Okay, so let's say whenever someone is sending a name, we can also send that. Okay, so we define a function def hello, hello to a name or something like that, whatever you want. So let's say we are passing a name here and a string. Okay, so what we are doing, so we, in this case, we are returning and we are passing a value here, hello, and then what should be, it should be, we are passing a name here. Okay, so now basically now it should be at the root and then the function name, like, yeah. So this is the decorator. Okay, so now whenever we try to run it, so now let me just stop it. So to stop, always you have to do Control C. So anything that you do on the endpoint, see, you will always get a log here. Okay, so I will stop this, and if I run it again, so always remember Python -m for module name, then UV and then the app name :app. Okay, you see here I'm getting some error. Okay, of course, so we will just go ahead and check it. Okay, so name, and so we always give like this or underscore or something like that. So we'll just try again. Okay, so see, now our server is running, yeah, and we try to pass it a parameter. Okay, so what we do here, we run it. So this will work because this is another function, and then if we pass another function, like what is the second function, greet name. So if we do greet name, and what is happening, see, now it is saying that there is a error. So it is saying that we need a field, like a field required. So now we have to run it like this. We have to pass a, like, let's say my name or anything. So you see, it is that parameter is being used here as a variable. So hello Shankar, so now that's being printed here. Okay, so this is how it is working. So you are also passing a parameter. Okay, so there are a lot of things you can also pass. You can use put method, you can use get method, so you can do a lot of things that with it, but then this is a beginning level to start with. Okay, so now to test, you can either directly run from here, or you can also test your API using the Postman. So basically in my next tutorial I am going to create another session where I'm going to test my API using the Postman. So Postman is very commonly used tool to test an API. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show here. And if you stop the server endpoint, and if you go here and try to run it, it will say that it is not available or the connection is refused because there is no server running. So what we did here, it may look very simple, but what you did actually is you created an endpoint, you created a server. Okay, and you created an application program interface and you try to access it. Okay, and you test it also. So now again, this is what an API looks like. It was a very simple API, but you can create as advanced as you like using this FastAPI. So FastAPI is again latest and cutting edge technology, which is even preferred, even compared to REST API or Node.js. So I hope you like it, and if you think this is useful, please share with your friends and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.